want to say it's been an honor to represent the 8th District for the last 4 years in the U.S. Congress. I've very much kept the promises that I made when I first ran, replacing a long-term incumbent, someone who hadn't kept touch with people in the district and didn't even have an email address. I now have showed that this is a district that can get representation for families and businesses. We've responded to over 130,000 emails and letters since I've been in office. We do public forums on a regular basis. We do teletown halls. I do business advisories, healthcare advisories, education advisories to really stay connected to the district. And that's why I ran. Some may not have been here in the district because I often talk to new constituents who've just come to the area and may forget that my own background was a business background. And when I ran to bring what I felt was lacking in Washington, some real-world perspective, both as a working mom, balancing work-family issues like so many of us do, but also as a business person where accountability and results matter. And I'm very proud of my record on behalf of this district. I'm proud of the legislation I've already been able to pass in my short time in Washington. Already, recently, some bills just went to the President's desk to get signed. And so some of the things that have already become law have been laws related to investing in business. In the stimulus bill, which I think we had an opportunity to speak about before, I made sure that in addition to helping folks with checks so we could stimulate consumer spending, that there was a business component, doubling the 179 expense provision, so capital investments would be encouraged on the part of small businesses. Coming from a small business background, I know how important that is to the economy. I've also been a champion of internet safety legislation, and 3 of the bills, 1 of which I authored and 2 of which I co-sponsored, have recently become law to protect our kids from internet predators and give them education about how they can better protect themselves in the future. I've also spoken about recently my Green Innovation Initiative, and a portion of that was a compilation of bills, but one of them to provide an acceleration of the depreciation schedule for small businesses, again, who invest in recycling equipment, and which helps our efforts at conservation, is also passed and become law. So I'm proud of the difference I've been able to make. I serve on the Small Business Committee, and as I mentioned, very focused on them, but also on the Financial Services Committee, which has been one of the busiest committees. And as you can imagine, with what we've been facing lately, we've really had to step up to the challenge to keep up with the challenges we're facing right now. And I want to back up on that. We'll talk, I'm sure, about it in some of your questions, since it's the #1 thing on people's minds is what are we going to do about the economy, is that we have been working on a number of things in this committee since I've been there, from mortgage reform, GSE reform, FHA reform, foreclosure avoidance, to address some of the challenges that were in the subprime market that contributed to where we are today, which has sadly now become a global financial challenge.